not much has gone. Anyway, so basically, this other than me, the consciousness, well, everything is mithya, not dual. That's all. That is called non-duality, where everything other than you, including space, time, and everything, becomes mithya. You know the mithya, I mean. And what is mithya is as gone, as good as gone. It's as good as negated, totally. And same like we give an example also. I think I gave you so that I'm not disturbed at all by my 100 images. I'm non-dual. I understand very well. So Advaita status of the Chaitanya well need not be brought in by this thought elimination by or object elimination, etc. So I mean my understanding should be very clear that I am non-dual in spite of various thoughts, in spite of all the objects outside. That's what even in Dakshinamurti Stotram, the very first verse, Shankaracharya ji says the same thing. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari. Vishwam darpana drishyamana nagari. This entire creation is like you are seeing some objects in a mirror. So it's mithya. Anyway, so every time I experience Chaitanyam, I experience non-dual Chaitanyam only, because other than me, everything is mithya at all. But the snag is basically Advaita status of the Chaitanyam is disturbed by the world. That is my misconception. That Advaita status of a Chaitanyam is disturbed by the world, by the thoughts. Well, this is my misconception. And so therefore people struggle to sit in meditation and remove the thoughts and remove the world and etc. So that's how yogastu chitta vritti nirodha. So that itself is a problem. And so chitta vritti nirodha, all chitta vritti and vrittis etc. have to be totally eliminated. So that's a nirvikalpa state where I alone will be there, non-dual will be there, etc. etc. That is not required, because as long as you sit in a samadhi, you may feel that you are nirvikalpaka. The moment you come out of that, thoughts will be there, world will be there. Again, the same reality you have. I mean, you know them as a real. That's how you have removed them. They will be still there. So understand that they are mithya. So remove this misconception that there is no second thing, even when I experience all the time. Because other than consciousness you cannot experience. That's a beauty. This is how you have to think. So other than me, the consciousness, nothing is independently existing, nothing I can experience. Space I can't experience other than consciousness. Space cannot exist without consciousness. That's what I say in meditation. Space cannot be away from the consciousness. Space cannot be without consciousness. Space cannot exist independent of consciousness. And therefore they all have a dependent existence. That's called mithya. So consciousness is independently existing. That consciousness is I. And I am this consciousness. In light of that understanding, the misconceptions about I, that I am a body and mind and senses and this and that and individual and a man and woman and this, all misconceptions get dropped. And still you are with this I. This you are with I. So we always say in meditation that don't go away from I. Never try to objectify Atma. That's a very, very basic mistake. Afterwards, there is no way one can come back. And so it is always very beautiful. It's always good to start with two objects, I the knower and the known. Start with that. I the knower and known. Well, everything outside is known, nothing to analyze further. I am the knower. Well, it has some component of a known. I am knower means I consider along with this body, mind, sense complex, that's a conscious entity, conscious being. That is the knower. No, that is not knower. This is also known. From that point, Vedantic inquiry starts. So I am not the body. That is known. I am not the mind. That is known. So I am just a knower, conscious being, who is a knower of body, mind, sense complex and the external world. That's a beauty. And then, this conscious being, knower, is there so long as objects are there. Known objects are there. Then I have a status of a knower. If objects are not there, or nothing is to be known, then I am not a knower. Then who am I? Well, I am knowledge, the content of the knower, consciousness. And then we have to think over, every sense organ is, consciousness is. Or let's say the object is. The word is, consciousness is. Form is, consciousness is. Now don't say form is, knower is. Because the content, the truth, is the knowledge, consciousness. So say that. Form is, consciousness is. Word is, consciousness, or sound is, consciousness is. Object of touch is, consciousness is. Form is not. You close the eyes. Form is not. Consciousness is. Form is, consciousness is. Form is not, consciousness is. Consciousness is independent. Form is not independent. Right? Form is illumined because consciousness is illumined. And so this is how. And then this consciousness with regard to space and time. There is no dimension. If consciousness is a dimension, it becomes my object. It has certain height, etc. So spatially limitless. And then go further. Everything, space exists in consciousness. Then all objects in the space exist in space. Space along with the objects exists in consciousness. That is how you arrive at the really, you are really going towards, knowing yourself as Brahman. So this is to be done very systematically. And people don't do systematically, and therefore they get frustrated. They generally don't sit in meditation, and which is very much required in fact. But they don't sit because they don't go step by step. I am consciousness. I am consciousness. This all is mithya, and it doesn't work that way. Later it will work. Later it will definitely work, but not initially. Initially it won't work because there is a strong identification with the body, mind, sense complex. Anyway, so here it says, we have to remove this misconception that there is a second thing. That only creates this dvaita buddhi. So there is no really a second thing. Everything is mithya. Exists on account of me, illumines on account of me, etc. They are in consciousness. That's how we have to say. Because they are not outside consciousness. They are not besides consciousness. They are not away from consciousness. Therefore, everything exists in consciousness. Oh, everything exists in consciousness means like my that grain, etc. exists in some vessel, pen. Like that it exists. No. Like the wave exists in water. Okay? So that... So form is consciousness is. Form is not consciousness is. But the whole form exists in consciousness. Form shines in consciousness. Like the wave is, water is. Wave is not, water is. Oh, the whole wave shines in water. Whole wave exists in water. Same way the whole world. Mithya. Over. That's mithya. So this is really good. Very beautiful. Everything is good. But once the class is over, and then everything goes away. So that's what he's going to ask also. Today we'll see that. So basically, I am non-dual Atma. The experiential duality is mithya, so it can't disturb me. And then he asked that moment I come out of the class, this Dvaitam is raised up. And I see subject-object duality. I feel that world can threaten me, etc. So Vastutvam, this student is asking, Vastutvam Dvaitasya Punaha Bhati. So Dvaitasya Vastutvam. Vastutvam is reality. Vastum is a real. Vastutvam, reality. So Dvaitasya Vastutvam. So reality of duality. Punaha Bhati. It comes again. Once the class is over, then again the the duality becomes real for me. And how can you say, duality has become real for you? Because same violent reaction starts coming if somebody says something and etc. etc. Family member tease me, etc. So, Dvaitasya Vastutvam Punaha Bhati. Then Vidyaranya says, Tathatvam Punaha Parishilaya. Then do Vedanta Vichara again. Because while doing a Vedanta Vichara in the class, temporarily, you have understood that this Dvaitam is Mithya. So continue with this then. Continue with this Vedanta Vichara analysis of this self, etc. Please continue. So, atra means asmin vishay. Asmin vishay means dvaita satyatva vishay. Since you have given a reality to this duality, well, that tena kaf prayasa hai. So, what difficulty you have in doing this again and again? Relive this teaching again and again. Do action replay again and again. What you have learned in these classes. So, try to see it again. Try to understand it again and again during a day. And because of this abhyasa only requires abhyasa. A gap between the knowledge and the result of knowledge is a lack of abhyasa, lack of exercise. That's the only thing. And that is the only remedy. There is no remedy at all. There is no remedy. Why? There will be some special, my special punya because of that. Suddenly, I will get that Advaita Jnana. Nothing sudden. Nothing sudden in this. In knowledge, there is no sudden. In knowledge, there is a growing clarity. Slowly. In every knowledge we have seen in the past, even while studying in the university, while you do exercise, what you don't understand, read again and again and again and ask some questions if you have to the teachers or whoever, and you find you have got a clarity. So same here, this is also knowledge. Nothing is special here. Nididhyasanam also cannot create any special experience. Nididhyasanam cannot give moksha. Please understand this. Moksha is you. You are moksha. You are free. Dropping misconception is a problem. I can't drop. Because of the old habit, because of past samskaras. So it has become very firm. Well, then exercise is required to make it loose, from your mind. So, tena kaf prayasa. What difficulty? Prayasa means a difficulty. What difficulty you have? Vidyaranya is asking in doing this, in reliving the teaching, putting efforts again and again. And so, because of that abhyasa, the abhyasa, I have told you, nididhyasanas are of two types, Brahma abhyasa and Samadhi abhyasa. So both types, so either of the nididhyasanam you can do. I don't discuss now because I have discussed several times this. So because of this abhyasa, which is called nididhyasanam, with the help of a teacher or without teacher, whatever. So basically you can get rid of this misconception. Getting rid of misconception is the moksha. That is what has been told in the definition of a mumukshutvam. Right? Mumukshutvam. Moktumicha. Desire to get rid of, which is really anartha. And therefore, one should get rid of this misconception. You are consciousness. Instead, you have taken yourself as a conscious being, this, etc., because of identification. Anyway, so in Nididhyasanam, convert all this teaching, which was there as with the Atma, word Atma or word Ayam. Sometimes they use word Ayam. Achedyoyam, Adahyoyam, Akledyo, Shosha Evacha, etc. Achedya Ayam. Ayam Achedya. This Atma is Achedya, cannot be cut into pieces. Or Akledya, it cannot be wet. Atma is. Instead of Ayam, put Aham. That's an Nididhyasana. Ayam Achedya. This Atma cannot be cut into pieces. No, I cannot be cut into pieces. I, the consciousness, is not subject to any kind of a destruction, etc. So this kind of a Nididhyasanam practice you do, exercise you do. Well, and what difficulty you have in doing that? Please tell. Vada. He says, Vada. What difficulty you have, in doing this, what difficulty you have? Please let me know. There is no difficulty. Do this exercise again and again. Verse 248. Kiyantam kalamiti chet खेदोऽयं द्वैत इष्यताम् अद्वैते तु न युक्तोऽयं सर्वानर्थनिवारणात्. So student ask, well, how long I should do Nididhyasanam? Now that is a question. Kiyantam kalam parishilayami. You said parishilayam. Well, basically, do Vedanta Vichara again and again, do Nididhyasanam again and again. So, Kiyantam kalam parishilayami. Iti chet. Well, so Acharya says, now your question will be how long I should do Nididhyasanam. Because I told you to do Nididhyasanam. So you are asked, suppose if you ask that how long I should do that Nididhyasanam, well, Vidyaranya says you should not have such a question, because wherever you, whenever you have to do a job, let us say, not wherever, but whenever you have to do a job, if you don't like this, that job, then you can ask, well, how long I will stick in this particular job, how long I will remain in this job. Well, here this is not a criteria. You are not bored with. You always like to sing the glories of yourself. I have seen you before, and therefore I am giving you more glories, real glories about you to sing. Earlier you were singing your glories and singing all the time during a day to all your friends and in a circle. Well, all were mithya actually. You were singing about it. You are singing the glories of a anatma actually, and thinking anatma is atma. You are singing the glory of your body and your mind and everything. And these are all the fake glories you are singing. And you are asking for recognition from all the people in the world about your glories. But I am singing your real glories, and that time you are asking me, well, how long should I sing this glory about myself? So, well, I am giving a job of claiming your glories. Nididhyasana means claiming your glories. It's a job of claiming your glories, basically. So, well, nothing is superior than you. Really? Yeah, really. Nothing is superior than you. Everything is mithya, it's of a lower order of reality. And so, and this world cannot increase or decrease my status. I am Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Sabhava, etc. Several glories are there. And so, world can't basically hit me, world cannot, submerge me, world cannot burn me, etc. World cannot make me dry. Everything. I don't have I don't have a birth, I don't have a death, I don't have any kind of changes also in between. I'm free from all changes, I'm not subject to any time, I'm not subject to punya papa. Well, everything exists on account of me. The most beloved thing in the world exists because of me. And so, whatever is beloved, whatever one loves in this world, everything exists on account of me. Ahamannam, ahamannadah. Well, I am the annam and I am the one I am the bhokta, I am bhogyam, etc. Everything is me. So, all this, so much of glory, this you have to dwell upon. That's a job I am telling you to do. To dwell upon your own real glories. And therefore, at that time, please don't ask me, kiyantam kalam parishilayami. How long I should dwell upon my own glories. You should not get tired, basically. And as such, one likes to dwell upon one's own glory. That's a thing. So, Puja Swamiji used to tell that, I'm never tired of looking at the mirror, Even these women always used to keep a small mirror in their vanity bags, So, in car also people used to keep seeing in the screen, etc. all the time. So even though how my face is whatever, but physical eye, identified with this body, mind, sense complex, that physical eye always want to enjoy one's own glory in terms of looks, not tired of looking at even doubtful physical beauty. But still, therefore, how can you be basically tired of a real, doubtless, permanent beauty? Satyam Shivam Sundaram. You are that Sundaram. Because of you, everything is beautiful. In this creation, whatever is beautiful is on account of you. So you are most beautiful. So don't ask this question, how long should I do? Enjoy reveling in your glory. Vedanta Vakyeshu Sada Ramantah. Vedanta Vakya is like a mirror, and shining, and your glories are shine. They do shine in that sentences. So dwell upon them. And therefore, coming to this Dvaitam must be painful to you. I am Khedah Dvaite Ishyatam. May you feel pain with respect to this Dvaita Vyavara. So Dvaita word is there, but Dvaite you have to take because it's a due to Sandhi, that Ekara has gone. So Dvaite means it's a Saptami, Vishaya Saptami. With respect to Dvaitam, with respect to duality, you should have a pain. May you feel pain. I mean, Ishyatam means it is desired by you. What? Kheda. So it is desirable for you to feel a pain in what? Dvaite, with respect to Dvaita. Advaite tu ayam na yukta. Advaita Vishaya. With respect to this non-duality, ayam, kheda, na yukta. This pain is not proper. Because you are asking, how long should I dwell upon this Atma or the glories of Atma, which is Advaitam? So as though you are feeling pain in dwelling upon this. So don't feel pain dwelling upon your real glories, which is non-dual, etc. So even if I ask you not to enjoy your glories, well, you think of your glories. I mean, in terms of your body, mind, sense complex, whereas here these are the real glories, permanent glories, doubtless, basically. And so ayam advaite tu ayam khedah na yuktaha. With respect to this non-duality, well, there should not be any, you should not feel any pain in dwelling upon such glories. Why? Sarva anartha nivaranat. Vidyaranya says, Sarva anartha nivaranat. It makes you free from all the problems. Anartha means the problems. And so sarva anartha nivaranat. It makes you free from all problems. Because no role, you are free from roles. Every role has a problem. Every role has a problem, and this makes you see that you are basically free from all the roles. Asangoham, punah punah, chidananda rupam, etc. Well, so Advaita will reveling upon Dvaita will make you free, release you from all the problems. 249. Kshut pipasadayo drishta yatha purvam mayiti chet Machabdavache ahankare drishyatam netiko vadet. Now this is solved and student comes up with another problems. These are not the problems of that student, these are problems of us only. I mean, we may also can ask this kind of question. So he says, well, no doubt, very nice. It is very nice to hear I am free from birth and death and nothing can affect me and I am free from all the roles and this and that. And very beautiful. And there is nothing superior in this world other than me. I lend existence to everything. All the things are beautiful. Beautiful things are there. Well, I am the beauty behind all these beautiful things. And the beautiful. Very good. Sarva anartha nivaranat. It will make me free from all problems. Very nice. But even you are saying this and I am listening this, I have right now problem. While listening this and appreciating also, I have problem. Problem of what? Right now I am feeling more hungry now. And then I have problem. So hunger is a pang, right? So it's a problem. So basically, kshut pipasa dayaha. So kshut pipasa thirst. Kshut means hunger. So kshut pipasa dayaha, we have to add anarthaha. So this anarthas are right now there. That I thought while listening to the class and then I will become free from this pain of hunger, thirst, everything. So I won't feel hungry. I won't feel thirsty after jnanam. Instead I feel more hungry, in fact. Because my mind becomes free and therefore I feel more hungry and thirsty also. And so, kshut pipasa dayaha mai drashta. Well, all these problems of hunger, thirst, etc. are seen in me. Yatha purvam. Before gaining jnanam, I was hungry, I was thirsty, and those things were creating pain in me. And now also I am having, in fact, more hunger and more thirst. And therefore, you said anartha nivaranat. All the anarthas will go away, but they are there in me right now. So, Vidyaranya says, well, after attending classes, you can't use word I loosely. You can't use word I loosely. So, because there are two eyes. Before one eye, now there are two eyes. Not I means there are two eyes now. One is a ahankara eye and the other is a sakshi eye. Which you are not knowing. Which you are not knowing. You are not knowing because it's not your fault. Both were at one place. Therefore you are not knowing. Sakshi and ahankara is just at one place, one location. Yeah. But now we have done viveka, ahankara and sakshi. And so ahankara means this karta, bhokta, etc. And this sakshi, well, this is, so you should be deliberate before using I. Now you know you are a sakshi, witness of even ahankara, etc. Witness of a karta, bhokta. You are free from kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, etc. So you are just consciousness, witness consciousness of all the thoughts, including the thought of a kartrutvam, bhoktrutvam, everything. So now you know this. So don't use word I loosely. And Vedanta can't remove this Vyavaharika Ahankara. Vedanta cannot remove it. Vedanta can falsify. Why? Since today class, I think from the beginning, you are all the time saying this is Vedanta cannot remove this, Vedanta cannot remove this, Vedanta cannot remove this. Yeah. Vedanta Advaita Jnanam cannot remove Dvaitam. Advaita Jnanam cannot remove Ahankara. What is this? If Ahankara won't go, then where is the question of your knowledge? We say it falsifies. Jnanam falsifies. Cannot remove. Need not be removed. Ahankara cannot be removed. I am saying again, once again I am telling. Ahankara cannot be removed. Ahankara need not be removed. Ahankara is to be understood. False. Why? But Ahankara should go. If world goes after knowledge, this Dvaitam I said you, it won't go. Then Ahankara also won't go. Why? Because both have the same order of reality. Why? Ishwar Srishti. Ishwar Srishti. Really? Yeah, it's a Ishwar Srishti. And therefore, so basically Vedanta cannot remove this Vyavaharika Ahankara. And therefore, no Vedantic teacher will say, well, because Ahankara is due to Prarabdha. This body-mind sense complex is given. Ishvara Srishti, like world. And then I sense also should be there in this body. Yeah, that's called Ahankara. To experience pleasure and pain belong to Prarabdha. If there is no I sense in the body, where is pleasure? Please tell me. Like in a deep sleep state, you don't have any pleasure, no pain. Why? The very I sense has gone from this. So, to have a prarabdha, to experience the prarabdha, which is Ishvara Srishti, given as a karma phala. Body is given and then the I sense also is given in that, so that you can experience pleasure and pain. That will continue. And therefore, basically, Jnanagni Sarva Karmani Bhasmasat Kurute. In that fire of the knowledge, all the karmas are burnt except Prarabdha. Sanchita goes away. Agami won't remain. But this Prarabdha will continue. But then why Bhagavan said Sarva Karmani? Because that Prarabdha, this person says, I don't have a Prarabdha. One who gains knowledge, he says that I am free from all karmas. He says. Therefore, Sarva Karmani. Free from all karmas? Then he doesn't have Prarabdha? No. Then you are saying Prarabdha is there for him. He says, I am Brahman, I am not Ahankara. Ahankara is still Karta Bhokta, which is falsified. And the Prarabdha also belongs to Ahankara, which is Karta Bhokta. Therefore, it won't go. It will go. It will go. As when the body goes, Prarabdha falls. Then I sense also goes. It will continue till then. And therefore, basically, this hunger and thirst, our question is hunger and thirst. Hunger and thirst belongs to this ahankara, bhokta. Anyway, so Vedanta, after gaining knowledge, well, definitely, you look upon yourself as a sakshi. If you say, I am a wise person, definitely ahankara. Yeah. If you say, I am a wise person, I am a gnani. I am not Brahman, but I am gnani. Brahma gnani. I am not Brahman, but I am Brahma gnani. It is at ahankara level. He says, I am Brahman. Brahmavid Brahmaiva bhavati. The knower of Brahman is Brahman alone. So in his understanding, he is not a knower of Brahman. If he says, I am a knower of Brahman, he is a limited entity. Ahankara. His I is all the time associated with Brahman. That's a reality, in fact. And therefore, there are two eyes. One, after gaining knowledge, now there are two eyes. One eye is ahankara, other eye is this sakshi, etc. And therefore, basically, well, and they give an example. Like when you see a movie hero, well, then you can look at this movie hero from two standpoints. See, you can look at the movie hero from the standpoint of the hero and fighting with another villain and etc. and undergoing several situations, painful situation, etc. Or you can look upon this movie hero from the standpoint of screen. If you look upon a movie hero as an individual, ahankara. If you look upon a movie hero from the standpoint of a screen, individuality, individual hero, vanished. Vanished means falsified. You are experiencing throughout the film. But if you, in your understanding, whatever I am seeing, all these heroes and villains and all heroines and everything is just one screen. If you have an understanding that it is just one non-dual screen, suppose, then definitely, well, you experience individual right now, but still, in your understanding, that individual ahankara is falsified. You look upon just as a screen. So either way you can look upon. If you look upon as an individual, you will definitely cry along with him. And if you look upon as a screen, you won't cry. That's the thing. If you look upon a hero or heroine, whoever, to whom you have you may have a soft corner, whatever. You look upon as a screen, heroine and the villain and the hero, both are just one screen alone. They are not really two individuals. If you have that understanding, you will enjoy the whole movie. Anyway, this is so basically. So please understand, ahankara will remain. Making the line of a ahankara shorter is the job of a Vedanta. By making another line, by drawing another line of a sakshi which is bigger than ahankara. That's what they used to tell. I think you might have heard of it. So a teacher has drawn one line and told students that you come here and without rubbing this line, make the lines shorter. And the other one boy came and made another line bigger than that line. That line has automatically become shorter. Yeah. So I am an individual, karta, bhokta, this pramada, subject to time, subject to birth and death, subject to punya papa, is a line. Right now I have, and it is so big in my mind due to ignorance of my real nature. In light of Vedanta, now you draw a very big line about I, Sakshi, Brahma, etc. Then that line, Ahankara line, has become automatically shorter, insignificant. So this is how. So we have a bigger perspective of this self. Well, and from that standpoint, Ahankara automatically becomes insignificant. We don't We don't destroy ahankara. There is no way of destroying ahankara. To destroy ahankara, there is only one way, is to commit suicide. So long as the body mind sense complex is there, I sense continues. Yeah, I sense continues. Anyway, so they used to, they give an example of freedom fighters basically. So these freedom fighters, they were tortured and beaten by this police. And when and they continue to chant Vande Mataram. And when they chant Vande Mataram, they again beat them. And some of them have died also. And because basically this freedom fighter has a identification with a larger cause. So their identification is not confined to this body. Their identification of their self is to a larger cause, to a country. When they have drawn that line, definitely the identification with the body has automatically become insignificant. And that is how they have given up their lives. They have given up their bodies also. I think Bhagat Singh or somebody was asked also while they were before hanging, they asked, what's your last wish? So he said that if I am given another birth or another 20 births, I would like to become again freedom fighter till my country becomes free from your hold. What does it say? So when you give up your body, means that identification with the body has become very insignificant. Then because their identification with the entire country was significant, in light of that, this has become shorter. Same way, once you know that I am a Sakshi, I am Brahman, limitless Brahman, witness consciousness, this ahankara, identification with one body becomes very insignificant. And therefore, this Kshut Pipasa Daya, all these anarthas, they don't really belong to you. They belong to ahankara. When you know you are a Sakshi, etc., they become insignificant. Earlier you were thinking, I am hungry, I am thirsty, etc. That is not the criteria. So perspective difference only can dilute the pain. Here pain of a Kshut and Pipasa, basically. So they give another example also. When mother has the labor pain, etc., has a pain of delivery, etc., and gives a birth to a child, and she welcomes pain because she has much more joy having a child, etc. Then she welcomes the pain, even though there is a lot of pain, but still, she overshadows this pain due to that, gaining that child, etc. In that light of that gaining child, that pain, labor pain, etc., has become very insignificant. Same way, here also, once you know you are a Sakshi, and this Kshut Pipasa, hunger, thirst belongs to ahankara. Already ahankara has become insignificant, and therefore problems belong to ahankara also become insignificant. So anartha has gone. Sarva anartha nivaranat, basically. You are free from all the problems. That's at the level of from the standpoint of a Sakshi. That's your reality. And they give a third example also. Like even during a day, still all the stars, etc., are there, but due to this powerful presence of that sun, they as though become lighter, insignificant. All these lights of stars, etc., they are as good as absent. Same way for a jnani, this biological pain or the physical pain, they continue, but from the Sakshi's standpoint, they become insignificant. They belong to ahankara. So ahankare drisyatam, kshut pipasa dayah, ahankare drisyatam. So let hunger thirst be seen as a mithya, because they belong to ahankara, because they are, and they belong to really ahankara. Ahankara is mithya, and therefore they also are mithya. So I raise my level to satyam. In that light of that satyam, they become mithya. So mat shabda vachya ahankare. Ahankara is what? Mat shabda vachyam. Vachyam, meaning. Meaning of a which word? Mat shabda. Meaning of a word I, basically. So ahankara, I, both are indicated by I only, but this I is belongs to this I has a meaning called ahankara. So I, hunger, etc. They belong to. So you have to read this sentence like this: Mat shabda vache ahankare kshut pipasadayah drisyatam. So that's how you have to see. So with in this, these problems have to be seen with respect to ahankara. That's what Brihadaranyaka Upanishad also said. Yo ashanaya pipase shokamohau jara mrityu matyeti. Jara, mrityu, shokam, moham, ashanaya, pipasa. Ashanaya means hunger, pipasa, thirst. So this person, one who gains knowledge, he atyeti, he crosses over, he transcends from these problems of jara, mrityu, etc. So naiti ko vadet. Vidyaranaya says, well, who says they are not there? This should pipasa, etc. Who says they are not there? They are there, but they belong to ahankara. Verse 250. Chidrupepi prasajyeran tadatmyadhyasato yadi madhyasam kuru kintutvam vivekam kuru sarvada. So he says this ahankara has this hunger, thirst, etc. Sakshi does not have it. And well, ahankara and sakshi basically, they are very close, proximity at one place only. So since they are in one place, the problems of one transfer to other. So they give an example of when you in India, if you travel in an auto rickshaw, if suppose a very vehicle which passes through from very close, I mean without much gap, passes through, I mean overtakes from this auto in which you are sitting, you basically try to squeeze yourself, or you try to basically narrow yourself. Auto has to do. Why you should do? You are sitting in auto, or some auto is coming from the opposite side, and you feel he is going to collide with this auto. So the auto will be collide, but you are sitting in the auto. You try to go on the other side, or narrow your legs, etc. All this. So because you and the auto are in one place, and therefore whatever is happening to auto, you feel as though it is happening to you. Same way, all the problems belong to ahankara. Well, definitely superimposed upon the consciousness. Because both are at one place. Why both are at one place? Sir, everything is non-separate from consciousness, right? Pot and clay cannot be at a different place, right? And wave and water cannot be at a different place. Where the wave is, there itself the water is. That is how it is mithya, otherwise it is not possible. Wave is at some other place and water is at some other place. Then where is mithya? Both are independent. And therefore, ahankara and this atma, both are at one place, because ahankara is non-separate from the atma. The very I thought is possible because of consciousness. And I thought shines, the I thought also appears conscious due to this consciousness pervades the I thought. Right? We have seen all this. And therefore ahankara and atma, whole world is basically in the atma. There is a question of just ahankara, but we are discussing here ahankara. So ahankara basically and atma is at both are at one place. That's what he is saying. So when whatever the problems belongs to the ahankara, well, they belong to, they appear in a atma. And so, these problems of ahankara, transference of these problems is due to what? Tadatmya adhyasat, identification of ahankara with the sakshi. And therefore, due to identification of ahankara on sakshi, the problems of ahankara, properties of ahankara, they appear in atma. So, transfer of problems. Tanmayat. So, chidrupena abhi prasajyeran. So all this tadatmya adhyasat chidrupena api prasajyeran. Prasajyeran means basically appear. Chidrupena. They appear in this sakshi. Chidrupa means, chidrupa means chaitanya swarupa, means the sakshi. They appear in this sakshi. Due to what? Tadatmya adhyasat. Due to identification of ahankara with the sakshi. So then what to do? Well, adhyasam ma kuru. Yadi, I mean, if Acharya says if you face this problem again and again, adhyasam ma kuru, don't transfer ahankara problems on yourself. So, like they say this, like elephant, they throws mud upon itself. So like that. So don't throw upon this mud of ahankara upon yourself, the sakshi. So guna guneshu vartante iti matva na sajjate. Pashyan, shunvan, sprishan, jigran, ashnan, gachan. So all the seeing takes place, everything takes place. Don't take yourself as a seer. It is going to happen. So this is all at the ahankara level. Seer is ahankara. Hearer is ahankara. Toucher, smeller, doer, enjoyer. Everything is ahankara. But you say, I am seer. I am. So basically, the attributes of ahankara you transfer upon yourself, the sakshi. So, vivekam kuru. So, yadi adhyasam ma kuru, vivekam kuru. So basically, you are a sakshi and do the viveka between you and the ahankara. Ahankara appears in you and subsides in you. It's like a wave, exactly. Why example of wave? Because this ahankara is I thought. And I always compare thought with the wave. They just come and go. Come and go. Ahankara also is like that. They come and go. They come and go. There is all. And then again in waking state they come. Again in waking state also continuously changing. I thought means it is a mind. Dynamic. All the time new thought, new I thought arises. It's not that I thought once arise in the morning. It remains. That's how it is changing also. That's how you say also, I am karta, bhokta, I am seer now, I am hearer now, I'm a smeller now, etc. Continuously changing. Continuously changing, resolving, appearing again, resolving, and therefore that's a whole drama going on you. You are the stage on which the whole drama goes on. So vivekam kuru, you are a sakshi who is not affected by this ahankara. So do this viveka. And when sarvada, sarvada vivekam kuru. May you do this all the time, especially when there is a problem. But I am not able to do Swamiji when there is a problem. That's how we say when there is no problem, you do this viveka. So you do. Generally, when problem comes, we want to shift ourselves from this problem and problem of ahankara also. Well, I am sakshi, and it is not. Then it doesn't work. So sarvada vivekam kuru. Do it all the time. Okay. And verse 251 we just read and we'll see. Jatityadhyasa ayati dridavasanayeti chet avartayet vivekam cha dridam vasayitum sada. Then student comes up with another complaint. You said there is a problem of adhyasa, O teacher, and solution is this viveka, etc. And like some people, they keep emergency tablets. That place sorbet. In India, they have one tablet called sorbet. They keep it inside. And if you have some heart ailment, if you have that sorbet immediately, if you keep in that below the tongue, then you will be survived. That's what I think I have heard of. So anyway, so some problem occurs, then sometimes that emergency medicine will be there. So, but like same with this adhyasa, etc. is a problem, you said. And then viveka tablet you should have, etc. It's an emergency tablet. But basically, this adhyasa, when it occurs, I just don't know. Without any advance notice, etc. It just, adhyasa becomes so natural. It just occurs. Deha adhyasa and identification with the body, mind, sense complex, it just occurs. So if I am aware of, I will immediately use the tablet, viveka tablet. Oh, well, I should not identify with the body, etc., etc. And even if this is there, well, I am just a sakshi of this ahankara, etc. I am not a karta, bhokta, I am not a seer, etc. I can do, but I don't know when this problem of adhyasa occurs. And so it overpowers me. I fall into samsara and then I realize. So jatiti, Jatiti adhyasaha ayati. So jatiti means, well, instantaneously, without time gap. Adhyasaha ayati. This adhyasa appears. Well, how? Because of what? Dridavasanaya, because of my old habits. Well, and therefore, so what should I do? Now tell me. This vasana, due to this dridavasana, adhyasa just comes. Problem just comes before I utilize a emergency medicine called viveka. So what to do? Okay, we'll see. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.